Hi, I want to show you around our Zabbix 2.0 instance that we use to interact with our Blackboard Learn environment and to monitor it. So as you can see, what we call our environment is CSG Blackboard. We've got about 9 servers in our environment, and we use Zabbix as a tool to monitor. So here you can see system status, host status, and issues. You can see we have a couple of free disk space issues since we've been archiving courses, but in the web monitoring tool you can see all 9 of our app servers which sit behind our load balancer are all okay. So let me show you a little bit of the graphs and screens options that we have here. So let me click over here. Here you can see our Apache busy workers, which is something that we monitor in our environment because we want to make sure that our Apache, we've had previous problems where our Apache busy workers has gotten a little bit out of control. So here you can see looking over 7 days of data. So if I want to look at a specific day, let's say this one looks a little odd, I can highlight, drag and drop, and the system takes a little bit of time, but it will go ahead and zoom into this area. I can also use this feature to zoom in by hour, by 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 6, all the way up to a full month if I want to look at that. And then I can move back and forth by hour, by 12 hours, by a day, by a week, or a month. So here we can see the interaction, and you can see our busy workers are pretty busy. There's a lot of color in that, so we do have a kind of a legend here to show us that. It also shows us the last, the minimum, and the average, along with max, which is very helpful for us to see anything. So we also have other images where we can look at different graphs. So for example, we can look at our Java thread count. So you can see our Java thread count for all the servers continuously staying at pretty high loads. I've got this set so it's updating all the time as now. This is over the past hour. So if I go back, let's say 7 days, you can see it's kind of flat. Let me jump up another 12 hours. And here we can see activity around from about 6:13 p.m. to 7:13 p.m. But again, we can clearly see this data, and again the legend graph down here shows us our actual statistical data. We also have some screens that we set up, and screens is basically like putting a bunch of graphs together. So for example, we're using a lot of the QDI Canvas cache hit ratios to figure out a few things. So here we are looking at a day's access here. And really the graph doesn't help so much as the numbers down here. We can see their Canvas, our hit ratio maxed out 100, it's average. Our last report is 99.99%. And for me, the biggest concern is hits on disk. Okay, so you can see right here at 7 o'clock last night, we had quite a bit of spike. We actually got up to a 3 here, which means that was actually not being kept in memory. It was actually having to be written to the disk, and that's a concern. And it can make us look at the need for purchasing or building a Redis server for our environment if we see more and more of these as we go along. So this is one of our screens. Another screen is for other things like assessment cache. You can see those assessment caches haven't been utilized this morning. So let me look over the past day. You can see there's a line there, but not too terribly much of anything going on. Let's look at the last 7 days. Here we can see different points where the graph, we clearly see some high points, but we're not seeing any hits to the disk. Everything's being kept in memory. Good thing to hear. So you can build as many screens as you want. I think we have a server health screen here. So we can see busy workers. We can see load per core. We can also see requests per second. We can also see our splash page response time. So how often is that? We're looking at download speeds of the page. How are we doing on any of those? So it's really, really fascinating stuff. It's very helpful when you need it. So here's our Tomcat screen. We can see any busy threads, any current threads, request processing time, all that stuff. All that information can be collected as well. So that's a quick tour around Zabbix, and hopefully you can gives you a little indication of what's available to you and what can happen and how you can utilize that. So anyway, hope this has been helpful for you.